Hi, this is going to be your 30-day ahead forecast for the water signs. Okay, that's going to be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces placements. The song when I hit shuffle for water placements is Touchy Feely Fool by AJR. If you want, you can check out that music video. There is symbolism in that music video about him trying to outrun some kind of cycle, outrun some kind of blockage that his soul is providing to him. It turns out that he's trying to outrun his own soul. So there's something here. In the end, they start working together to heal whatever cycle it is. He's running through the same mud puddle over and over. And the download I had received, I don't know if you had ever read the book Pete the Cat, in his new shoes, and he steps in a whole bunch of different things from mud puddles to strawberries, and he just keeps walking along singing his song. No matter what it is that he steps in, he just grooves with whatever new color is provided on his shoe. So there's something here about that. I know there is a significant tie related to soul healing when it comes to the sole of the feet. That's another download I had channeled in the recent weeks. Taking care of the soles of your feet, giving them spiritual baths, anointing your feet with oil is going to be helpful in your spiritual journey. It immediately had reminded me of this book. Also, listening to that song, I Don't Want to Be an Empath Anymore by Aura North. So we're going to start your reading for the next 30 days off with a little bit of bibliomancy. We're going to knock and see what answer we receive for the water signs. What do the water signs need to know, please? Holy angels. Okay, so we have the art of practice of your empathic gift. Okay, we also have validating your feelings is showing up, but the art and practice of your empathic gift is where my eyes first landed. There is this beautiful moment, this magnificent point in time when you have released everything you have into the wind and you not only feel everything, but you also feel nothing. Yeah, that's what he's saying in his song, that he wishes he didn't care so much, but he does. You feel perfectly held and perfectly free. You have found this access point where creation and destruction meet, and no effort whatsoever is needed. You are reaching and receiving and simultaneously letting go and offering. You are calm and complete, and yet so amused and touched by your own intricacies. This is the spirit of art. This is the gift of authentic expression. Wow. So without really taking this in the context that the author had intended, because I literally just opened to this random page, I feel like when the author says, when you have released everything you have into the wind and you not only feel everything, but you also feel nothing. I feel as though that's a very significant part. You could be practicing visualization of releasing certain worries into the wind. You could be channeling these thoughts. Okay. When I think of air energy, I think of thoughts and communication. You could be channeling this energy either through your words or through your intention of and visualization into certain crystals. Okay. And you could just channel all of your worries, take a worry stone, for example, or one of your favorite stones and start charging it with certain worries and, speaking, right, to your guardian angels, speaking to God, speaking to the wind and allowing those worries to leave you. And you may want to release the stone, okay, into a body of water. You can lay it in a bowl of salt, or you could bury it into the earth, whatever form you choose to release these worries. There's something about the intention and the ritual, the practice of the ritual is going to bring the physical and the spiritual together, kind of like the music video where his body and soul start to finally work together. Okay, so let's start with a shadow work card because it's the very first deck I had picked up when I started speaking. So water signs, the next 30 days. Okay. We have cunning is the very first card that came out. So it says, why do you feel the need to trick people to get what you want out of them? You achieve your end goal by deceit or evasion using strategies to get your way. So I'm not sure, water signs, if this is going to be your energy or somebody else's. I mean, it is a shadow work deck, so this could be something that you're really starting to question yourself. You achieve your end goal by deceit or evasion. I'm also kind of feeling like this is a shadow attribute of yourself that you are facing in the month ahead, that you're like, this card is even a little bit dirty. You feel like you have to play dirty in order to get the success of your peers. You may have witnessed other people carrying out certain tactics or even pretending to be somebody that they're not, and picking up heavily on like customer service voice, right? And looking for, I don't know, your soul yearns for this authenticity, and somewhere along the way, and it could literally come from customer service training, somewhere along the way somebody taught you that you had to be inauthentic in order to get ahead, and this is something that the water signs are releasing. Okay. Yeah, we have this victim mentality, this trapped mentality. It's heavy again with that symbolism of the music video. His hand is coming down as this giant spiritual blockage. It's literally pushing him back into the starting point of what I believe is like maybe a therapy session or some kind of like introspective moment of self-awareness, right? We have spiteful because the person that he's healing with, the person that's sitting there with him, is just kind of a figurative vessel. It's represented with either somebody who's wearing some kind of figurative mask, or what I believe it is more likely is a mannequin, right? Like some kind of just a blank representation of the inner work, right? We have spiteful showing up here. Do you treat people with deliberate malice or contempt because you feel they're getting what they deserve? And there's something really significant here about the golden knife that this person's holding. You want to annoy, upset, or hurt another person in a small way because you feel anger towards them. And then we have self-sabotage. Okay. Yeah, you could be saying prayers against self-sabotage. You could be seeing reflections of how this self-sabotage is keeping you in cycles that you may have spoken in the past that you didn't want to repeat this cycle, and you became painfully aware of watching yourself do it again. And so you may be praying against this now. You do or don't do things that block your success, or you prevent yourself from accomplishing your goals. Let's find out more for the water signs over the next 30 days. Okay, so we have just start. There's an exciting new project winking at me, and it's now up to me to slip a note into its locker to get the ball rolling. I might be tingling with nerves, but it's time to bulldoze those fears and just start. That's so funny because I was texting earlier and the bulldozer emoji kept accidentally coming in, and I don't know where it was coming up from because I didn't use it, but it kept popping up. And this card had come out earlier today too. Even though I shuffled. So it says, so pay attention to those repeating signs. Just start. Anyway, today I vow to take the first small step in this process. Dance and remember the project winked first. XOXO. So, your creative project, your artistic musings are calling out to you for a reason. There's some hidden meaning behind even the things that you write, right? We have getting it out. So this card here says, getting it out. I value myself and the things I have to say, even if all I have in me is a few words, even if they're spoken in a whisper, even if they're written on a dirty napkin and hidden in the bottom of my junk drawer. I told you something about being dirty, right? Even if they're written on a dirty napkin and hidden in the bottom of my junk drawer, I'm still going to get those thoughts out of me and notice that the universe, or at least drawer bottom, is more interesting place because of me. Word up, or I guess down on paper. So there is something here, and also about not being salty or not tolerating betrayal, because I know salt tipped over can be a signifier of betrayal. And so keeping, yourself authentic and allowing yourself to have that integrity it's what's going to reflect in your outer relationships. Okay, because you're not sabotaging yourself. You're definitely not going to be tolerating sabotage from anyone around you. And I feel like getting it out on paper, writing it out, or expressing it in some kind of artistic way with this music here, or listening to music that might be speaking to your soul at this time on a healing level, this is going to help release you from these spiteful energies, or the shadow manifesting in a spiteful way, because honestly, under the spitefulness is a lot of pain. It's a lot of feeling things really intensely, right? And it may be that you haven't always gotten the support that you had deserved from the community around you, right? It says, I hereby call a dream team of support into my creative life. I only work with the most perfect of collaborators for me and stack my projects with positive, constructive attitudes. If my workspace is in a treehouse, I'll hang a hand-painted sign on the door that says, no jerks allowed. Interesting, because the lyrics in that song, he literally calls himself a jerk. If my workspace isn't in a treehouse, well, then I guess I better haul everything and build a treehouse. And how strong these monkeys are. I don't know if those are bears. I don't know, but they're holding up a hippo. So yeah, let's, we have honoring ideas under that. Supporting your ideas, even if others haven't always been able to support you or to hold the weight of your integrity, is what I'm hearing. We have forgiveness in reverse. Look, we have writing again, showing up, writing it out, honoring your ideas that come out by writing them down and revisiting them, even if it's years later. Okay, I want to move on. One sec. Okay, so with the tarot, let's find out a little bit about the next 30 days for the water signs, please. Six of Cups, interesting. And it landed on honoring ideas, which speaks about honoring your ideas like they're your children. And we have the Lovers came out. And the Three of Coins, bottom of the deck, is the Page of Cups and the Nine of Wands in reverse, coming out of a period of struggle or injury. Okay. The Six of Cups could be talking about a reflection of the past, inner child healing. It could quite literally be speaking about your children, right? Yeah, because we have the elephant has a baby elephant here, and the elephants can sometimes represent family and generational healing, learning from the past, honoring the past. The Three of Coins showing up. Let's see if you can see. The Three of Coins showing up tells me, again, community support, collaboration, resources, Three of Coins. Utilizing your resources to the highest ability for the benefit of you and your children. Okay, 6, 6, are the numbers that are showing up here. We also have 25, 20, and 41. Okay, stability, completion, love, family, fertility. Yeah, a lot of confidence with the golden light showing up. Okay, we have circulation, life, network, flow, motion, depth, hidden, essence, intertwined, and support. You could be really getting outside and getting your circulation moving, or focusing on certain breath work, or herbal support as well could be here. Some kind of medicinal support focused on circulation. Speaking to your doctor about these ideas that you have. The in between time. Okay, stretched too thin, torn between levers, on the rebound. Heard in between. So you got between two loves. You might be stretched thin between projects. Really struggling with how you're going to get everything flowing, circulating in a certain productive way. We have secretive. Yeah, look. Circulation. There's something about circulation, especially with the feet and the toes. Thank you, Spirit. I had a pain here right before starting this reading, and I was wondering about it. So don't be afraid to ask those questions, right? To the angels, to God, to say these prayers, and don't be surprised if you start getting these answers, right? Tell me about the month ahead for the water signs. What did the water signs need to know? It says balance, stability, and progress, which I was kind of picking up on that energy with the 2s and the 4s in your reading. We have rendezvous point. I mean, it does feel a little bit ominous. Like this guy's like, hey, you want to meet for coffee? Down this dark alley. But I just got a text from someone and it says she is so excited. So I feel like it could turn out to be a more exciting meeting, whatever this is that's coming up in the month ahead, even if you do feel a little bit nervous about it, because I'm again being drawn, my attention's drawn to that 9 of Wands energy, right? Where you may be coming out of a difficult period where life has kind of beat you up a little bit in certain ways. Restaurant, that's weird. I wanted to say resident. Culinary delights, celebration, and dining. You also have lighthouse showing up here, and crossroads. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask those questions. You are going to be getting those answers. You are going to be seeing the light, even in the most dense fog, or confusion, right? I feel like if there has been some kind of author of confusion in your life, rebuke that. That is the work of the enemy. And ask God for the clarity and for that guiding light to help you in this moment of decision, right? Or indecision. Multiple paths, a turning point, and a divergent road. And I'm kind of also seeing, remembering that imagery of the music video, I was telling you that his own soul was blocking him with like a giant hand. And so his physical body was constantly trying to outrun his soul. And he was running through the same mud puddles over and over again. And the horse too came to me at a significant point in my life where I had to return to a period of my past and deal with certain demons, that familiar spirits that have plagued my family for generations. And it wasn't until I went against my instinct, which was to fight back, and I just kind of allowed it. I think it was kind of tied to the spirit of provocation, and the spirit of enablement, the spirit of addiction was all intertwined, and it had a lot to do with prayer and taking on the battles of some of these entities of people that were going to be freed by me passing through that area and as a prayer intercessor. So you water signs, you could be a prayer intercessor. And that means that you battle for people in the spirit. And that means sometimes taking on certain cycles that you already conquered in the past, but having to return to, again, vanquish certain energies on behalf of soulmates. And these soulmates could be an acquaintance that you just barely met. They come and go, or they could be someone more significant or tied to you by blood, for example. Yes, because you do have the circulation card, right? So they could be tied to you by blood. This could be an energy that you're taking on And you could be needing this extra guiding light during this time in the month ahead. So let's find out a little bit more about your relationships. I always tell myself that your reading's going to be XYZ so long, right? And I always just keep going. So we have strength. Okay, this lesson is going to strengthen you for the future. And I know he says that in the song too. He says, someday this is going to be so funny. Someday this is going to be so long ago. And I wish it could be now. Tell me about the relationships of the water signs. What do they need to know? And it could be, I'm kind of being drawn to this ocean too with the lighthouse. It could be that these waves hitting the lighthouse, it's like your light is being strengthened through the storm. And like, I'm kind of being drawn into this restaurant here, how if you can imagine the day following the storm, being inside the lighthouse and enjoying your morning coffee and being like, we made it to the other side. We made it through the storm and it's a brand new day. And now we can tell people how we got here. Apologies coming in. This could be you. Honestly, okay, I'm going to tell you, we have music connection here. Songs. Songs. I had to repent recently because I should have been faithful in a situation, and I was seeking the connection of people outside of me when I knew that God was able to provide the answer to me directly. And I had convinced myself that for whatever reason, I wasn't able to see or hear or know the answers correctly. And God had to humble me. And so this is, I tell you this to say, if you're feeling called to repent for something in the next 30 days, and you could even be hearing God's pain through this music connection, hearing the pain of individuals around you or healing certain cycles on behalf of individuals around you is something else that's coming through. We have confidence, strength and confidence coming out of this situation. And again, we have that glowing light, something about strengthening the light, strengthening the confidence in your ideas, honoring your ideas like the children, right? We have adrift, releasing your worries into the wind, right? Was something that had come up for you earlier. Let's see. Any guidance for finances for the water signs? We have architect. Soul's blueprint is what I heard. Ooh, we have marine biologists. We have photographer. These could be significant energies related to your money in some way. Physical health also. Okay, you could be really planning things out, or it could also be that you are the blueprint for certain soulmates. Because again, I'm being drawn to like the children, right? There's the mama and the baby, and a lot of these cards. We also have accountant and tax on the bottom of the deck. Independent just fell off my deck. So independent accountant, you could be freelancing or looking for somebody that you can trust with your finances in the next 30 days, really reconsidering how you're keeping track of your finances and expenses. You could be looking into certain apps on your phone. We have works well with others. People are going to be saying how well you work with others. They're going to be giving you positive reviews after working with you, especially if you do work with children. But people are going to be really saying good things about working with you, the pictures that you're taking. Okay, you could be going viral from some of these photographs that you're taking. You could be really focused on design with the architect and the fashion designer, or you could be really focused on looking professional, presenting presenting yourself in the physical world in a certain form or way. Okay. Let's find out some self-care for your next 30 days. Your body deserves your love. Your ideas and your body deserves your love. That's what's coming through for you. We have sing. Singing to angels is a way to directly connect with angels in a very quick way. I've also heard that music is the official language of heaven. I know that it's said that God really adores worship through music. So that could be essential to caring for your soul, connecting on a more spiritual level with self and with your higher power. Build strength and deep breathing. Yeah, I was telling you guys you were focusing on circulation for the next 30 days. Circulation. Anything else? Anything else that the water signs need to know for the next 30 days? We got commitment. You're committing and following through on commitments to yourself and others. And you are finding that you are the perfect fit in a certain community, place, finding your place in the world. Yeah. The next 30 days. You could also be finding your most perfect partner. Yeah. You're committing and investing in yourself. You really are. I was getting that with the fashion design as well. And you're aware that there's outside forces that are at play, whether it be from your own soul, from your higher power, from angels watching over you. There are outside forces. We're also in a period, at the time of me filming this, we're currently experiencing a blue moon. Okay, it was yesterday, but I know that the energy lingers for a few days. So something really special, something miraculous, something that only occurs once in a blue moon is taking place at this time. Outside forces are aligning to bring you to your perfect fit because you have had this commitment. You've been working really hard and investing in this healing and this self-reflection, and your intentions are pure. Your heart is pure in wanting to provide for the future generation and the lessons that you're helping to learn. You really want it's like you don't want there's a lyric in a Macklemore song, Ain't Gonna Die Tonight. And I think he goes on to say, don't let my life, my story, my pain be in vain. And that could be why you had the 9 of Wands in reverse as well. You're wondering if your pain has been, for nothing, right? But this was to instill that independence. That's the second time you had independent. Strike out on your own, free thinking, entrepreneur, freedom, self-reliant, self-made on your own efforts. And there's something here, yeah, with the spider here, sticky spot, be meticulous and patient. There's something here about your spidey senses. There's something here about your network. There's something about reaching out online and letting your light glow, letting your sparkle take center stage. Something about your eyes also. Taking center stage, something about your eyes, public face. It's okay to be yourself. You're not going to succeed until you are yourself, especially if you have Saturn in the 10th house. Okay. You could have prominent Saturn placements in the 1st house, the 6th house, or the 10th house. You're meant to be your most authentic self. We have music here. Artist, creative, performer, rhythm, harmony, musician, listen, song, messages, listen deeper to yourself. Yeah, if you're wondering if your soul is communicating with you, if angels are communicating with you, God is communicating with you through music. This is through you being able to write music and hear music and perceive music. They most certainly are. It's to bypass your subconscious and to provide healing on the deepest level. Okay, that's it. Please like this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.